a belle of the ranch, formerly Beau of the Fifth Column, after Beau of the Fifth Column decided to retire. Is that correct to say? No, he decided to take a break. I'm just gonna say he took a break. I saw that there was some news about Trump making another offer, like a final offer to the Ukrainians. And from what I understand, Zelensky said, like, it's already a non starter. Because what have I said before? I've constantly fucking said this. But why are the Ukrainians not going along with really much of anything? Because they keep saying, the US is saying, like, we'll give security guarantees. And he's just like, well, that's been offered in the past. And guess what? The Minsk Accords failed to provide security guarantees for us, so we want something more tangible, like NATO membership. And also, they don't want to give up any of their territory because they got, well, wrongfully invaded. But from what I understand, this is what, like, the Trump administration's offering. They're probably offering some other stuff. They're offering probably more to the Russians, but what do we got here?
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So, today, we're going to talk about Trump's final offer for Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Trump made what was called his final offer concerning an attempt to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine.
Real?
The administration says it's willing to walk away from the process if the parties don't agree. I'm going to go over the key aspects of Trump's plan, and then we'll point out some important.
The U.S. is taking the wimpy, weak, and woke route on Ukraine. Bunch of spineless cowards lacking masculine energy. That's the kind of vibe that I have gotten throughout this whole time. Keep in mind, remember Trump, what he said? I'm going to have peace on day one between Russia and Ukraine. It's like day 100 and what? 120 something? Like, not 120 something, 110 something? Still no peace? Yeah, 24 hours. I'm gonna have peace in 24 hours. I'll have it. Where's the peace? Where's the peace? What happened? What happened? What happened? Oh, the Russians never wanted to go along with it because why would they? They had strategic initiative. Silly.
Information. So, what does Ukraine get?
Mm-hmm.
A security guarantee, but not membership in NATO. A small piece.
Yeah, so like I said before, why would Zelensky want to take security guarantees similar to that of the Minsk Accords? In every fucking Minsk Accord, security guarantees were offered as a part of the deal. And, well... Whoa, it ended up amounting to fucking nothing because the fucking Russians still fucking broke all the agreements. Wah, wah, wah. So, Zelensky wants something more tangible. He wants peacekeepers on the ground to make sure that the Russians don't invade. Like, he wants them. He wants something tangible like NATO membership or boots on the ground, American boots on the ground, because of how whiff-waffly the fucking United States has been and how abstemious they have been with Ukraine. You know, with Biden doing the fucking stupid Clintonite strategy of let the Russians bleed themselves out in Ukraine, because that's true. And, you know, Donald Trump's outright hostility to the Ukrainians, it's made the fucking war a complete quagmire stalemate that it is. Crazy. Whoa, who would have thought that this could happen? So, you know, guess who gets fucking fucked over because of all this? Oh, it's the Ukrainians. They're the ones who get fucked over. Kiev got struck bad today. I'm assuming, like, yeah, there was probably another big drone attack because, again, with Vladimir Putin, it's just like, let's just fucking YOLO swag 420, just bomb the fuck out of them. That's true.
Of land currently occupied by Russia would be returned.
Mm-hmm.
Unimpeded travel down a Ukrainian river. Assistance for rebuilding. But there.
Which river? Like the Dnipro or something? Or I forget the name of the other river that's right by I think it's Kherson, the one that goes into the Black Sea. I don't remember because there's a couple of big rivers within Ukraine, you know.
There's no details on where the money would come from.
And yeah,
what does Russia
rebuilding.
get? Official recognition of Russian control of Crimea.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledgement that Russia controls other occupied territory. But
yeah, that's the Ukrainians are never going to agree to that because they've already made their position clear. They want all of the territory back. It's like, no, we want that shit back because that shit, guess what, was given to us as a part of our Constitution in the 1991 referendum when the Constitution was created. So, no, like, we don't accept this.
But not official recognition.
It is the Dnipro.
Ukraine is blocked from NATO. U.S. sanctions removed. Economic cooperation with the U.S.
So, yeah, like, what? They basically said, like, giving to the Russians, all right, Ukraine's not going to be a part of NATO, but we're going to give Ukraine security guarantees. Again, that's not going to work. Like, that they've been given security guarantees throughout 3 different treaties, and guess what? Russia every single time has broken them. So, I don't believe it is ridiculous to say that, yeah, we're going to need something a little more. You're going to have to give us a little something more instead of just security guarantees. We want boots on the ground to make sure that the Russians will finally no longer invade us. And again, as I explained before, it didn't have to get to this point, but with Biden's abstemiousness because he wanted to do the stupid dumb fuck Clintonite strategy, and Trump's outright hostility and cowardice, it became sort of inevitable that something like this were to happen, that the complete quagmire would just occur. Who would have thought?
Power from a Ukrainian nuclear plant that the U.S. will operate. The offer seems to have already been rejected.
Yep.
Ukraine already had security guarantees without NATO membership. It obviously didn't do a whole lot of good.
Yep.
Given the way the West didn't actually live up to its prior commitments to Ukraine, the promise of rebuilding assistance without details of funding was probably met with skepticism.
That's pretty reasonable. Let's be honest here, given how whiff-waffly fucking Trump has been on trade, and in terms of his, dumb fuck tariff deals, I think it's pretty reasonable for the Ukrainians to be rather skeptical as to what's going on. Be like, yeah, where are we getting the money to help rebuild? Also, what does help rebuild mean? Like, what exactly? Also, they're probably not... So if I were to guess, from a particular power plant that the U.S. is going to run, Russia's going to get the power? Are they talking about Zaporizhia, the nuclear power plant? That's the only thing I can think of because there's been a bunch of fighting that's happened around there. And, near fucking meltdown situations because, again, the Russians have been using it as a staging point, as a base because, whoa, crazy. They want to basically use it as a shield. Be like, you can't hit us back because if you hit the reactor, you hit the power plant, you could cause a meltdown. But we can shoot at you from the power plant. It's just like, and literally what? I think it was the International Atomic Agency was just like, can you fucking idiots leave? Just leave. Do not touch the power plant. Get out. Get out, Russia. You can't just use this as a staging point. No. But do the Russians listen? No. They don't give a shit about that. Haha.
And then there's the big part. Official recognition of Crimea as Russian territory.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
On the topic, Zelensky said, quote, Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea. There is nothing to talk about. It is against our Constitution.
Yep, just like I said, when the 1991 referendum occurred, when the Ukrainians split off from the Soviet Union and became their own country, and their constitution was written, all of those, during the 1991 referendum, every single oblast within Ukraine voted to join as Ukraine. They had the choice to join back with the Russians. They obviously didn't. So, guess what? It was written so in the Constitution that, these are the territories that make up our country. And, whoa, crazy. What are you telling... You're telling me that the Ukrainians are not going to, aren't willing to, accept offers to just give up the oblast? Crazy. We've gone over this so many times that that's what it takes to get into these dipshits' hard heads. I mean, even then, it doesn't get into their heads, boy meets many, because they don't care, right? We're operating with people who don't give a shit, right? They're blatantly dishonest. So, I could say it till I'm blue in the face. Is it going to be effective? Is it going to enter in their heads? No, because they don't care.
This is a well-established and known position from Ukraine.
Yes,
Trying
it
to
has
alter
been.
it was seen by
Since
most foreign
2022.
policy observers as presenting a plan doomed to fail. There is also the widespread belief among Western analysts that suggests Putin is really just stringing Trump along, while Russia regroups and prepares for a renewed push.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were also the case as well. Again, like I said before, the Russians currently have the strategic initiative. They know that all they have to do is just outlast the West, because eventually the West is just going to get cold feet and not want to send arms anymore. And with more people that are positive to their movement, to, well, Russia, broadly speaking, within, vestiges of power within the European Union, well, they can sort of play the long con and be like, we can hold out, right? Like, we'll still do our human wave tactic bullshit every now and again to try to see what we can get. We've been slowly making gains, but honestly, for the most part, it's just become a stalemate at this point for the past couple of months. Like, we can just wait. We can just wait it out. Ukrainians are eventually going to run out of steam. They had their opportunity. It got squandered because of dumb fuck Clintonite thought. Fuck Hillary Clinton. Fuck Bill Clinton. Stupid fucking dumbass dipshits. Whoa.
There was supposed to be a high-level meeting on Wednesday in London. At time of recording, it appears that meeting has been, let's just call it, deprioritized. The U.S. Secretary of State, as well as the German and French foreign ministers, have decided not to travel to the meeting. Probably because it seems incredibly clear that the final offer of a peace deal was a non-starter.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the meeting will occur, but it won't be the high-level meeting that was announced.
There'll probably be
the
some
lack of movement here adds to a list of promised deals Trump said he would rapidly secure that have since not materialized almost 100 days into his administration.
Almost 100 days. So not quite 100 days into the administration. Remember what he said? I'll have a deal worked out in 24 hours because I'm a great deal maker, folks. I'm really good at making deals. I'm so good at it. Yeah, still has gone nowhere, with this deal. Yeah, very good. I wonder, especially with, the tariffs, I wonder, he's so good at making deals. I'm the best at making deals. I'm so good at it. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I'm the realist.
Trump promised deals in the Middle East, and trade deals, and budget deals, and so on.
No.
He famously promised to end the war in Ukraine in a day. None of the promised deals have occurred.
Mm-hmm.
In most cases, they seem further away than ever. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
Y'all have a good day indeed. Yeah, whoa, the guy who was a habitual liar, has been known for being, making really bad business deals and decisions in the past, was not able to secure any complicated dealings such as this trade between nations, peace throughout multiple geopolitical sort of theaters, and, is not even able to work out a budget within Congress. Can't get anything worked out at all. You're telling me that his offers are all basically doomed to fail because, he doesn't fucking give a shit. He doesn't, is not good at making offers at all because he's a fucking narcissistic, egotistical fucking maniac? Say it ain't so. But yeah, what else is there to say? Of course this shit was going to be a fucking non-starter. Every time there's been a fucking negotiation, it's always been a fucking non-starter because, neither side is agreeing with anything. Because Putin will just be like, well, this isn't going to, fulfill my sort of, domestic political situation at home, so I'm just not going to agree. Or, the Ukrainians will be like, well, we're just going to, completely disregard our constitution and the sovereignty of our country to accept this dumbass deal, even though I said myself and I promised, yeah, we're going to get all our territory back because we've been wrongfully invaded. So, no, I'm not going to fucking accept this deal either. It's come on. None of these things are going to work out. I'm surprised that even the fucking grain deal fucking managed to work out magically. So, honestly, it's just a complete fucking shit show. Of course this shit wasn't going to work out. But, guess who has to be the one who mostly suffers in the end? The fucking Ukrainians. Crazy. Who would have thought that, Minsk 4 electric super boogaloo was not going to work out. Who would have thought?